It's time for more Trucker Good Eats, and as it gets to be quite chilly here in the Midwest, and, well, that means it's time for some soup. How about some soup this time on Trucker Good Eats? Today we're going to make a beef bean vegetable soup. Very simple, straight to the crock pot, and here is how we're going to do it. We're going to use 14.5 ounces of petite diced tomatoes. We're going to use 3 ounces out of this 6-ounce can. We're going to use only 3 ounces of tomato paste. We're going to use a box, 32 ounces of beef stock, unsalted. Why unsalted? Because those tomatoes and the beans are going to have some sodium in it, so we don't want to add any more salt than we have to. We're trying to stay healthy here. And too much salt just loses flavor. We're going to have a can of cannellini beans, white kidney beans. We're going to have our vegetable mix, which is going to be a bag of mixed vegetables, carrots, green beans, corns, and corns already plural, corns and peas, and it's called a seasoning blend, but I'm going to cheat a little bit because this here is carrots, celery, red bell pepper, and some parsley in it. And our spices, very simple. We're going to use a tablespoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of parsley flakes, and a teaspoon of black pepper. All right, let's put it together and let's see how this is going to look. Now, because we're not going to be actively cooking it because we're putting it in a crock pot, so we're going to let it sit and cook untouched for a number of time, for an amount of time. There's something I wanted to encourage you to do. I put some of the broth in the pot, and I put the tomato paste in there, and I'm going to stir up and break up that tomato paste a little bit to make it more liquefied, because as I said, we're not really going to actively cook it because we're sitting it in a crock pot and kind of like letting it passively go on. But that'll really help that tomato paste to break up. As you see, it becomes quite liquefied. So I encourage you to do that. Our next step, adding more of the ingredients, we're going to add our petite diced tomatoes, our frozen vegetables, so good, and our onions, peppers, and celery mixture. And I'm going to add the rest of the stock. Now the beans I'm not going to add. We're going to cook this for about 5 hours on high. I'm not going to add the beans until about the last hour because you don't want them to fall apart. You don't want them to become mushy. You actually want it to be a part of the, you really want that, those beans to be solid, something to bite into, kind of, and not only is your protein, but you want something to bite into, which is, helps you feel like you're really eating something. So we add all of that together. We're going to stir it up, and we're going to start cooking. And next, we're going to add our spice combination. As I told you, a tablespoon of granulated garlic, a teaspoon of parsley flakes, and a teaspoon of ground black pepper. We're going to add that up to our mixture. We're going to stir it. And what we have in the making is beef bean vegetable soup. Now, looking at that, I'm going to top that off with a little bit of water, okay? Because right now all we have is a lot of stock, a lot of vegetables, and I'm going to add about a cup and a half of water. Okay, so I added a cup and a half of water. Again, stirring it up. There's lots of vegetables in there. There's lots of nutrition. Lots of good stuff that you need on these cooler fall and winter. It's going to be winter soon, isn't it? Winter days while you're on the road trucking. Or, hey, you can make this at home too, but I'm trying to encourage the trucker. As I mentioned, we're going to put that the can of beans in there after it cooks for about 4 hours. We're going to put it on 5 hours on high. Let's put it to the crock.